7. Immediately, your plane is about to depart.
A very good morning to you all, captains, and welcome back to the flight deck. This is Captain Simwings, and today we are stepping away from our usual virtual career to mix things up with a brand new video in our Exploratory Flight Series. So these videos are all about giving you some variation on the channel, and that means stepping outside our FlySFS schedule to test out different aircraft, explore international routes, and fly with various airlines across the globe. We are sitting completely dark, cold and dark at the gate here in the Middle East, and we are getting ready to power up a heavy bird for a massive long-haul journey. Before we bring the flight deck to life, let's just look at the operational stats for today's long-haul leg. So for today's stats, the routing takes us from Hamad International Airport in Doha, Qatar, and we will be heading northwest across Europe to London Heathrow Airport. The distance we will be covering approximately 2,850 nautical miles. And for our aircraft, which I'm very excited about, we will be flying my most favorite aircraft in the sim, and that is the PMDG 777-300ER. What a massive aircraft we have in front of us, captains, and we will be flying it in the Qatar Airways livery as presented in front of you. For the estimated flight time, we are looking at around 7 to 8 hours, so it's going to be a pretty nice long haul for today's flight. And then for the simulation setup, and since this is an exploratory flight outside my career manager, we will be leaving the stats attached to my career performance aside, but we will still be using a pilot's life chapter 2 just to record how well we flew the aircraft and how well we landed and arrived on time and so forth, and followed all the procedures. So the scoring won't be going to my career record, but they will still be recorded, and we will still be reviewing the scoring after the flight has been completed. And then in addition to that, we will be using Beyond ATC for our air traffic control, and we will be using self-loading cargo to manage the passengers and the cabin, as well as GSX for all the ground services. And there's a flight disclaimer, because this is a long-haul simulation which is edited for pacing and entertainment. We will obviously be skipping through the long cruise portions just to keep the action moving forward, and I will be utilizing the Beyond ATC AI assistant to manage the radio frequencies during the high workload phases, so I can stay focused on navigating this heavy aircraft through the skies. So the cockpit is completely dark, captains. The sun is reflecting off the glass, and we have a long way to go to London. Let's get inside and let's hop and flip on our battery switches to on and get our IRSs aligning so that we can get started with the flight. Right, captains, I'm very excited. You can tell from my voice. So let's hop on inside and let's just go over our overhead panel. Right, we do have external power on the aircraft, so that's awesome. So what we are going to do is we are going to be turning on our batteries. Oh, the sounds are incredible in this aircraft there, and I haven't flown it for quite some time, so my flows may be out of place, but they seem pretty easy in this one. So we'll turn on our batteries, and then we'll turn on our emergency lights, and then we will also turn on our navigation lights, and we don't need the logo and wing lights. Awesome. And because we do have external power, we will then turn on both the external powers to the aircraft. Wonderful. Listen to those sounds come through. Very nice. And then let's start from the top. Our ADIRU, we will turn it on so that we can have alignment. We'll turn on our passenger screens as well as our utilities. All our bus tires are on auto, everything's on auto, everything's fine, perfect. Emergency lights are on. Skip the oxygen bypass and then turn on the window heat. For now, we'll skip the hydraulics panel, and then the no smoking signs will remain in the on position. Passenger signs, that being our seatbelt signs, will remain off. Our lights, let's just turn this master to the brightest because we are leaving during the day, and our exterior lights can remain off. Okay, we skip the engine selector, skip the fuel pumps, anti-ice, skip it for now, and then the beacon nav logo. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Our air conditioning, that's all good. Our bleeds are all on auto, perfect. And that's our aircraft powering up. Let me just pack this visor away. There we go. Perfect, captains. While we are waiting for our systems to come to life, let's just head over to our flight tablet and call in our flight as well. There we go, we've called in our flight from Simbrief, and then let's just go to our charts and start looking for our airport charts. So we will be looking for, there we go, there's our airport chart. We'll pen it, and then we will do the same for the arrival airport. Look for the airport chart and pen it as well. And then onto our airport charts, we do have our important frequencies to note, and that is the departing ATIS. So we do have ATIS at Doha on 126.850. So I am noting these on an external spreadsheet that you are not seeing. And then for the arrival airport, we do have, there we go, beautiful sounds, man. We do have our arrival ATIS on 121.935. So I'm going to note this as well, and we will be tuning into the ATIS when we are around 200 to 150 nautical miles away from London Heathrow, just to have a indication of the arrival conditions that we can expect. Wonderful. And then from that, captains, what we then can do, I just want to have a look at my departing chart again and have a look at the, we have ground, we have tower, we have Hamad clearance on 120.875. So I'm just noting that. So this will be Hamad clearance. Wonderful stuff. Okay, we've got our clearance, and then yeah, for now I think we are still good. Our systems have come to life. There we go. We can just hit the recall switch to clear the indicators that we are seeing there. All right, and then we can just listen in on our ATIS for now, just so that we get our conditions for today's flight. Let me have a look if I had mapped out, okay, if I had mapped out any of the controls to the radio stack. Okay, that's fine. I'll just have a look from there. Perfect. So we can listen in on the ATIS. So we'll do this. 1, 2, perfect. And then let's just listen in. ATIS is on 126.850. 126.850.
Level 150, read back all hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information Kilo. Hamad Airport information Kilo 0336 Zulu, surface wind 350 degrees 15 knots. Ceiling and visibility okay, temperature 29 degrees, dew point 17 degrees, QNH 1003, landing and departing runways 34 right, 34 left, transition level 150, read back all hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information Kilo. Hamad Airport information Kilo 0336 Zulu, surface wind 350 degrees 15 knots. Ceiling and visibility okay. Temperature 29 degrees. Dew point 17 degrees. QNH 1003. Landing and departing runways 34 right, 34 left. Transition level 150. Read back all hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Kilo. Hamad Airport.
Alright, captains, and that was our ATIS readout. So we can expect departure from 34 right and 34 left. We've got temperatures of 29 degrees, so it's very nice and hot. And then our QNH for today is 1003. So we can just set that up as well. So change this from the inches. Alright, 1003. Perfect. And then with that done, let's just request for refueling and the catering service in the meantime, captain. So I'm going to pull up my GSX and then I'm going to request for refueling and catering, and then we can just hop on outside to have a look at what happens during the refueling and catering replenishment. So we will request for refueling.
Refueling truck is on its way.
And then again, we will request for the catering service.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Alright, and then we can just hop on outside the aircraft just to have a look at what's happening.
Attention please, passengers for Qatar Airways Flight 265 to Larnaca, please proceed to gate C37 for boarding.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
Alright, captains, that's the aircraft being replenished with some catering supplies, and then that's the aircraft also being refueled. So let's just close right entry 2. Alright, perfect. So while the aircraft is still being refueled, as you can see, we do have a lot of fuel that's going to be added onto the aircraft. We can also request for the boarding from our passengers in the meantime, because we will be boarding quite a lot of passengers on today's flight. So I will bring up GSX again and then just request boarding as well.
boarding requested.
So we will be leaving Hamad International and we will be heading to Heathrow. Our expected time of departure is at 04:45 and then we should be arriving at 11:50 Zulu. So just ignore the big time difference. I just generally set up a later departure time so that I can ensure that all our systems are running correctly and we can get our cutscenes as required. So for today's flight, captains, yeah, we are looking at a cost index of 200 and then cruise winds of 280 at 58 knots, and then we've got a massive headwind ahead of us of -48. So that will be impacting the fuel usage on the aircraft. For our cruising altitude, as you see, we've asked Simbrief to plan our step climbs. We will be climbing to 340 and then 360 at PSD, and then lastly at Simba we will be cruising at 38,000 feet. Our zero fuel weight for today's flight is 211 tons. That's quite heavy, and then our estimated takeoff weight is 278 tons. So you can see how big of a jump this is as compared to the weights that we are used to from the 737. So yeah, this is quite a huge aircraft and it's carrying quite a lot. In terms of our trip time, we are looking at spending 7 hours and 30 minutes in the air, and then let's do this. For our block fuel, we are carrying 68.1 tons, so we still have a way to go with our refueling. So 68.1 tons, and then our fin res plus alternate, we are looking at 7.1 tons for today. With our routing, we do have quite a number of routes to input on the system. So our first waypoint is Ulica, or transition waypoint is Ulica. So we are just going to note that on our spreadsheet. So Ulica, and then our last transition waypoint is Logan.
Your crew has boarded.
So we can note that as well. And then we are expecting to arrive on 27 left in Heathrow, so we can note that as well. And then the blend star is the Logan 2 hotel, so just note that as well. Logan 2 hotel for our star. Awesome. Let's have a look at our charts again, and then we are going to search, and then for departure we want to look at the SIDs that are available to us. I'm just going to wait for this to load. Alright, and then let's go to the SIDS page. They did say we might depart 34 right or 34 left. So let's just look for Ulica. Okay, that is Ulica, and let's see what this Ulica covers.
Morning, mind your step there. Can I see your boarding pass?
This covers 16, okay.
You're just up there on the left.
This covers 34 left, so we can pin this.
How are you?
And then let's look and see if we don't have any other Ulica. There we go.
Can I see your boarding pass, please?
This one is 34 left again. Open it. Alright.
Just up there on your right hand side.
Just want to have a look at something on the flight plan. Dembo 4 leading us to Ulica. Okay.
Hello there. Straight to the middle then on the left. Just up there on your right hand side. Morning, mind your step there. Hi. Can I see your boarding pass, please? How are you? How are you?
And then I also want to have a look at the Dembo. do this. Okay, let's go to our flight plan. Just want to make sure I get all our routes correct. OTHH at Revan Dembo. Will be like no.
Can I see your boarding pass, please? Hi, your seat is just up there to the right. Hi, your seat is just up there to the right. Hello there. Just up there on your right hand side. Hi, you're just up there
okay,
on the
our
left.
last point after Dembo is Ulica, and before that
Hi, you're just up there on the left.
at Bib. So the first waypoint is at Bib. Let me just make a correction on my side. At Bib. And then let's also have a look and search for routes. So I'm doing this to try and guess the SID that will be offered to us.
is just up there to the right.
Let's have
Can
a
I
look.
see your boarding pass, please?
Dembo.
Morning, mind your step there.
Let's go back.
Morning, how are you?
So the last waypoint, Dembo 4
Morning.
is Ulica. Alright, let's tune into
Hello
the
there.
clearance frequency, and then we will just have a listen for
How are you?
the possible SIDs that may be read to us. But let's
Hi,
have a look.
you're just up there on the left. Hi, you're just up there on the left.
Yeah. Alright,
Hi,
let's tune
your seat is
into
just up there to the
the
right.
clearance frequency, and
Hello
then
there.
we will be just
Morning.
listening out for our clearance for today. So we have Hamad clearance on 128.75.
Hi, your seat is just up there to the right.
Alright, and then let's just request for clearance.
Morning.
Hamad clearance, good morning. This is Qatari 107 Heavy with information Kilo, requesting clearance to
Hi,
London
you're just
Heathrow
up there on the
Airport.
Hi, you're just up there on the left. Morning. Just up there on your right hand side.
Qatari 107 Heavy, Hamad delivery, thanks for information Tilo, expect runway 34 right, Dembo for departure, Ulica transition,
Hello there.
squawk
The middle then on the
5630.
left. Can I see your boarding pass,
Cleared
please?
to London
Morning.
Heathrow, expect runway 34
Hi,
right on
you're
the
just up there on the
Dembo
left.
4 departure,
Hi,
and a
you're just up there
transition
on the
at
left.
Ulica.
Hi,
Squawk
your seat is just up there to the right.
5630, Qatari
Hi,
107
you're just
Heavy.
up there on the left.
Qatari 107
Just up there
Heavy,
on your
read back
right-hand
correct.
side.
Contact ground
Hello
120
there.
decimal
Switch to
225
middle
when
then on
ready
the
for
left.
pushback or engine
Morning.
start.
Hi, your seat is just up there to the right. Hi, your seat is just up there to the right.
Contact ground on 120 decimal 225 when ready for pushback and engine start.
Just up there on your right hand side. Can I see
All
your
right,
boarding
captains,
pass,
we've been
please?
given our clearance, so we
Mind your
are
step there.
going to be departing on 34 right via the Dembo 4. So I'm gonna go back to my charts here and have
Hi.
a look at something.
Morning. Hi, your seat is just up there to the right. Can I
Alright,
see your
that's
boarding pass,
fine.
please?
Okay.
How are you?
Alright, and then
Morning.
let's just
Mind
have a
your
look.
step there.
SIDS, search for SIDS. We need the Dembo 4.
Hi.
Dembo 4, there we go. There's the Dembo 4. Let's go under pinned seats and then remove these, and we'll look at them before.
Hi. Just up there on your right hand side. Hello there, straight to the middle then on the left.
We'll just search one last time under our seats.
Just up there on your right hand side. Hi. Just up there on your right hand side. Hi, you're just up there on the left. Just up there on your right hand side. How are you?
I'm just not too happy with something. I'm just going through my charts quickly to check something here.
Hello there. Hi, your seat is just up there to the right.
We're gonna take off Dembo. Okay. But it's broken. We have a discontinuity.
Hi, you're just up there on the
Change.
left. Hi, can I see your boarding pass, please?
Radar departure. Okay. Alright, that's fine.
Can I see
Okay.
your boarding pass, please? Just up there on your right hand side.
Alright, captains, our squawk
Hello
code
there.
for today. So just zoom in there. Our squawk code is 5630. So we can set that up. 563
Hi,
and then
it's just
0.
up there to the right.
And then we can
Mind your step
just
there.
select TA only for now.
Hello
Perfect.
there, straight to the middle then on the left.
And then while the
Mind your
passengers are
step there.
boarding, we can just have a look at
Hello
what's
there.
happening. The aircraft
Can
is
I
still
see
being
your boarding
refueled.
pass, please?
Crazy. And then the
Can I
passenger
see your boarding
count.
pass, please? Hello there.
Okay.
Hello
253.
there, straight to the middle then on the left.
Okay,
Hello there. Morning.
that's fine. All right.
Hi, your seat is just up there to the right.
Let's just set up our screens as well. I'm going to try and remember this as best as I can. So at the bottom here, this
Hello there,
engine is
straight
supposed to
the
be
middle then on
gone,
the
and
left.
then we are
are
going to
you?
flip to ECAS,
How are
and then
you?
under ECAS we
Just
are
up
going
there
to
on your
select,
right-hand
sorry, the left hand side,
Hi,
select
you're just
engine,
up there on the left.
and then flip this back to MFD. Perfect. And then there we go. That's our engine set up the way we
Hello
want
there,
it, or our
straight to the
screen
middle
set up
then
the
on the
way we
left.
want it. And then we
Can I
can
see
just
your
call
boarding pass,
in our
please?
flight tablet as well. Perfect. And this will help us with setting up our route. So we can go to the MFC. Nav data's out of date. Let's just update this quickly.
Can I
There
see
we
your
go. Our
boarding
nav
pass,
data
please?
has been updated, as we can see with the date. This was released on the 14th of May, and it will expire on the 11th of June. So we are good as today's the 17th of May.
On your right-hand side.
All right, so let's
Can
go
I
to
see your boarding
position
pass, please?
initialization.
Hi,
Go back to the top, and then we are at OMD OTHH. So we'll set OTHH.
morning.
That's our reference airport, and then we will copy our coordinates just like that. Perfect. And then we can go to the route page, origin OTHH, and then we are supposed to be arriving at EGLL. Flight number for today, we are QTR
Can I
107.
see your boarding pass, please?
And
Can
then
I see your boarding pass, please?
let's have a look. And then for our alternate, we do have EGCC. Okay, that's fine.
up there on your right-hand side.
We'll return to our routing page. And then we'll go to the next page and set up our aircraft. So let's do this. Go to the departure. So for our departures today, we have been given 3-4 right via the Dembo 4 and then the Ulica transition. And then let's go route, next page, and then from Ulica,
just up there to the right. Can I see your boarding pass, please?
Just activate this, execute to
Ulica,
Ulica, and then after Ulica we're going to be using Mike 430.
Just up there on your right hand side.
And we will be heading to KSA.
Just up there on your right hand side.
And then from KSA we'll use Mike 321.
Just up there on your
and
right
we
hand
will
side.
be heading to Ivonu. And then from Ivonu we're going to be using the Zulu 710. And we will be heading to Guess.
Just up there on your right
Guess,
hand
yes.
side.
Then from Guess we will be using Golf 662.
Hello there. Straight to the middle then on the left.
And we will be heading to Nimar. Okay, let's just hit execute for now and then let's go to the next page. So from Nimar we will be using Lima 550.
Hello there. Just up there on your
And we
right
will be
hand
heading
side.
to Novba. From Novba we will use Juliet 981.
Morning.
Datok.
Morning. Mind your step there. Hi. Just up there on your right hand side.
And then from Datok it's Tango 115.
Your seat is just up there to the right.
And we will be heading to Darar. From Darar, Quebec 777.
Morning.
And we will be heading to
Can I see your boarding
Razda.
pass, please? Just up there on your right hand side. Morning. Mind your step there.
From Razda, direct Hawthorne. Let's just hit execute and then next page. From Hawthorne, direct Vexos. Vexos uniform November 1 to 8.
Morning.
DS.
Can I see your boarding pass, please? Hi.
Uniform Lima 609.
Hi.
Then go to Mess. Then we head direct FSK. Direct Disor.
Your seat is just up there to the right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this self-loading cargo service. Please place your
Okay,
large
next
bags into the
page.
overhead locker wheels
From
first,
Disor,
and keep your small items under
we're
the
going to
seated
go
item.
Lonta.
These include laptops,
Direct
handbags,
Lonta.
duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat.
And then
To
Uniform
help us
Lima
ensure prompt departure,
608.
we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. As
Then
we are currently
Dolev.
refueling, please ensure that your seatbelt remains unfastened until the seatbelt sign is turned on. This is a no smoking
Perfect.
service.
And then from Dolev direct
Thank you for observing this
Irdiv.
policy, and we hope you enjoy the flight.
Direct Podet.
Just up there on your right hand side. Hi.
Direct Simba. Okay, execute. Next page. Direct Gaska.
Hi. Morning. Mind
And
your
we're
step
almost there, captains. I just manually input these waypoints myself because I just enjoy doing it. It gives me the immersion that I need. So after Gaska we go map hops.
right. Hello there. Straight to the middle then on the left.
All aircraft be advised information Le Mans now current QNH 1004.
1004 and we have Lima. Okay, I'm just noting that change.
Can I see your boarding
Lima
pass, please?
QNH 1004. Perfect. And then Mapox
Hello there.
direct
Can I see
Otmec.
your boarding pass, please?
Direct Ebnet.
Hello there. Straight to the middle then on the
Then
left.
Lima 980.
How are you? Hi. Hello there.
And
Straight
then we
to the
will be
middle then on
heading
the
to
left.
Logan.
Morning. Mind your step
Perfect.
there.
And we can hit execute. Jeez, that was long. And then we can go to our departure and arrivals, and then arrivals. We are planning for the Logan 2 hotel. And then in terms of the runway, we will just know the runway
Hi.
once
You were just up
we
there
are
on the
close
left.
enough to listen
How
to
are
the arrival airport's ATC. So we can hit execute. Then let's go to our legs page, and then we'll go here and then just have a look at our route for today. Just to increase the range so
How
you can
are
see
you?
it nicely.
Morning.
There you
Mind
go.
your step
So
there.
as we step through it, like you can see, we'll be hitting this waypoint, and then we have that discontinuity, so we might get radar vectors too after Demdo.
Qatari
It's going
1178
to
Heavy,
be
ready to
vectors.
copy ISR clearance to
Hello
PR
there. There we
Mohammed
go.
bin Abdulaziz Airport.
Then we go this
Hi.
way and
You
that
were
way,
just up there on the left.
and let's just
Qatar
increase the
1178
range.
Heavy, Hamad delivery. Expect runway 34 right. Dembo for departure. Ulika transition. Squawk 4723.
Denver for departure.
How are you?
Buleta transition. Squawk 4723. Qatari 1178
Just
Heavy.
up there to the right.
Qatari 1178 Heavy, reback correct. Contact ground 120.225 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Alright,
We contact ground 120.225 when ready for pushback or engine start.
How are
Qatari
you?
1178
see.
Heavy. Thanks.
do the
Hello
sounds
there.
turn down here, like in the
Hello there.
777.
Hello there. Straight to the middle then on the left. Hi. Your seat
I
is
don't
just
think
up
I'm
there to the
able
right.
to adjust my volumes
Hi.
here.
Your seat is just up there to the
Let's do
right.
this. Perfect. I just
Hi.
want to see something in terms of the volumes. Am I able to
Morning.
adjust them?
Mind your step there. Hi. Just up there on your right hand side.
Okay, can't adjust the
Hi.
volumes yet.
You were just up
Alright.
there on the left. Hello there.
Alright, captains. Geez, that was a long input. Let's just carry on with setting up our flights. We can go back to the route page, performance initialization.
Hi. You were just up there on the
And
left.
then on this side, I want to
just up
do
there on your right
the
hand side.
PMDG setup. No, let's have FS sections and then payload. Perfect. So for today's flight, the planned zero fuel weight, or the estimated zero fuel weight, is 211.4, and we have that on the system here. That means the aircraft has been loaded correctly. So zero fuel weight 211.4. Perfect. And then our fuel should be 68. Yes, that's fine. If I remember correctly, 68.1. Yes. And then our reserves, spin race alternate, we have 7.1. Okay, and then our gross weight 279. Okay, that's fine. Cruising altitude ultimately is going to be 380. Cost index max altitude 352. Okay, that's fine. That's the max for now, because of how heavy the aircraft
Japan
is.
Air 50 Heavy, ready
Cost
to copy
index is
IFR
going
clearance
to
to Tokyo
be
Haneda.
Japan Air 50 Heavy Hammer delivery. Expect runway 34 left, Datmo 1 Whiskey departure. Squawk 3602.
200.
Datmo 1 Whiskey departure. Squawk 3602. Japan Air 50 Heavy.
Japan Air 50 Heavy, read back correct. Contact ground 120.225 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Will contact ground 120.225 when ready for pushback or engine start. Japan Air 50 Heavy. Good day, thanks.
Let's go to our thrust limits and then just
Qatari
perform our
1202
takeoff
on our way to
calculations.
Prince Abdulmajid bin Abdullah.
Qatari 1202, Hamad delivery. Expect runway 34 left, Chulab to Alpha departure. Squawk 3355.
Chulab to Alpha departure. Squawk 3355. Qatari 1202.
Qatari 1202, read back correct. Contact ground 120.225 when ready for push or start.
Ground 120.225 when ready for pushback or engine start. Qatari 1202.
Right, let's perform our takeoff calculations. So we are departing 34 right. Can import the weights from the aircraft and import the weather. Then let's hit calculate. So for our takeoff, we have a flaps 5 and then the D rate is 2. So we select D rate number 2 and the climb gets D rated as well. And then we have a selected temperature of 45.
Badr Air 681 IFR to Port Sudan.
Badr Air 681 Hamad delivery. Expect runway 34 right, Dembo for departure with the Eureka transition. Squawk 6242.
Dembo
When
for
hit
departure with
takeoff,
Eureka transition. Squawk
next page,
6242. Badr Air
runway winds
681.
360,
Badr Air 681, read back correct.
17,
Contact ground 120.225 when ready for push for start.
slope
We'll
00.
contact ground 120.225 when ready for pushback or engine start. Badr Air 681. Bye bye, thanks.
I'm going to rather go up 0.0. It is 0.0 up. Okay, that's fine. And then conditions are dry. Reference outside air temperature is 30 degrees at this moment. Can set that up. And then next page, flaps 5 departure. And then let's have a look at our speed. So it's 66, 71, 73. So 166, 171, 173. Perfect. And then our takeoff center of gravity 31.8. Let's do that. Perfect. Setting our trim at 4.25. So we can go to our legs page, and then I want to see the step climbs.
Qatari 41 Lima looking to pick up our clearance to Belgrade Airport.
Qatari 41 Lima Hamad delivery. Expect runway 34 left, Lubid to Alpha departure. Squawk 2101.
Lubid to Alpha departure. Squawk 2101. Qatari 41 Lima.
Qatari 41 Lima, read back correct.
Just
Contact
wanna have a
ground
look at the step climbs.
120.225 when ready for push for start.
Ground
OTHH.
120.225 when ready for pushback or engine start. Qatari 41 Lima, have a good morning.
Right, and then let me just go to our VNAV page here. Next page, cruise. Oh, okay. Recommended. Alright, I'm going to go to the route page, and then I'm going to request route request to see the step climbs. So return so let it just request the route, and then hopefully it will factor in our step climbs as required. Okay, let's clear this, and then we can hit activate here. Okay, clear all of this, and then we can load our route. And then hit execute. Perfect. And then departure and arrival again 34 right.
Qatar 79 Kilo Heavy, IFR to Malaga Airport.
Tembo for Ulika.
Qatar 79 Kilo Heavy, Hamad delivery, expect runway 34 left, Chilog 2 Alpha departure. Squawk 4745.
Chilog 2 Alpha departure. Squawk 4745. Qatar 79 Kilo Heavy.
Qatar 79 Kilo Heavy, read back correct. Contact ground 120.225 when ready for pushback or engine start.
We contact ground 120.225 when ready for pushback or engine start. Qatar 79 Kilo Heavy. Good day, thanks.
Alright, let's just go back to our takeoff page. So just set up our performance again. So 166, then 171 and 173. Okay, everything else is fine. Alright, and then our legs page, route data, load our winds, and you can hit execute. And then we can go to the VNAV page. Next, descent, forecast, load. Perfect. And then let's go back to our init. Right, there we go. We are good on that. Peace, what a setup. Hey captains, that has been quite a setup, but it's going to be for this very long journey that we do have ahead of us. So just to bring up my tablet again, I want to have a look at the runway heading, and then while that is loading, we will set our V2 at 173. Just wait for this quickly. Alright, let's go back to our charts, print charts, our runway heading. So we are departing 34 right. So our pushback is going to be a nose left kind of pushback. Then we taxi through here and head our way down there, and then okay, that's fine. And then 34 is at 336, but they may say 340. So we'll just set 340 there, and then back to our standard instrument departure. I was set. I want to have a look at the initial climb that we do have. Initial climb clearance 4,000 feet. That's our initial climb. So we can set initial climb to 4,000 here. Perfect. Flight directors can come on, and then we can hit the LNAV and VNAV. Perfect. I'm happy with that, captains. And then we can put our chart back to where it was. Our systems are fine. All passengers have boarded. Crews waiting for the doors to close. Grounds waiting for the doors to close. Perfect. All right. Geez, what a setup, hey? So we are going to depart at 4:45. We still have some time on our hands. So what I am going to do now is turn on our forward fuel pump. As you can see, we do have fuel in our center tanks as well. So we can just turn on the forward fuel pump leading to the APU, which is this one. And then we are just going to proceed to turn on the APU and then hop outside and have a listen to the APU startup of our beautiful aircraft.
Qatari 8728 Heavy, request taxi.
Qatari 8728 Heavy, taxi to holding point Alpha, runway 34 right, via Charlie Alpha.
Taxi to holding point Alpha, runway 34 right, via Charlie Alpha, Qatari 8728 Heavy.
Passengers for Qatar Airways Flight 739 to Los Angeles, please proceed to gate C.
Alright, captains, that's our APU started up. As you can see, I just want to change the frequency, and then I'm going to tune into ground again to request pushback and engine start. So as you can see, the APU has started up. It's available, so we see that the secondary external power has disconnected over here, so that lets us know that the APU is now providing power to the aircraft. So we can turn off our externals, and then we can proceed to turn on the seatbelt signs, turn on our beacon lights as well, to let the ground crew know that we will be starting up the aircraft. And then we can just turn on all our fuel pumps, as we do have fuel in the center tanks as well. Alright, that's all good. We can just head over to our flight tablet, go to the ground component of things, ground connections, and then we can release the ground power. Then with the ground power released, we can also then release the chocks. Then once the chocks have been released, we can also just request for GSX to prepare for pushback and departure. Then we can also hop outside to have a look at what's happening. Alright, captains, and that's our aircraft connected to the pushback tug, so we can switch back to ground and then we can request for pushback and engine start. Qatari ground, good morning. Apologies, this is Hamad ground, good morning. This is Qatari 107 Heavy, requesting pushback and engine start.
Qatari 107 Heavy, Hamad ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast.
Pushback and engine start approved, face northeast, Qatari 107 Heavy. Alright, we have been given a pushback, so we will be facing northeast, so that's a pushback to the north. That means that we will be having a nose left pushback. And then, as I did say, I haven't flown this aircraft in a while. I just want to bring up the checklist quickly and sort out everything. So our oxygen and flight instrumentation is normal. Flight deck doors are closed. The MCP V2 heading and track has been set up. Our takeoff speeds have been set up. Pre-flight has been set up. The trim hasn't been set up yet. The taxi and takeoff briefing, we understand that. So for the trim, we're going to go to our overhead panel and we are just going to turn on our hydraulics. So we start with this one and then we wait for the fault to come off, and then we can go C2, C1 and do this, and it should complete it in a C motion. There we go. All right, so our hydraulics are good to go, and then we can just head over here and set our trim, which is 4.25. So we have 4, and then we'll just set, there we go, that's 4.25, and then our trim is set up and we can normalize that. Right, and then we'll just hold there, and yes, we can just release the parking brakes and then start our pushback and hop outside and watch the aircraft being pushed back. In terms of the clocks, we can start our clocks and we can start our elapsed timer as well. Perfect, captains. I am releasing the parking brake.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
Alright, the pushback has been completed, so we can set our parking brakes. So apply brake pressure and then pull up our parking brakes, and then let's just begin with our engine startup. So we will start up with the engine on my right hand side. As you can see, the engines are already spinning, and that's just because of the winds outside. So we will hit the on position and it should go to start, and then once the N2 is above 25, we will introduce fuel as well. Then just monitor for good engine startup. Alright, just waiting for the engines to stabilize, and then we will start up the next engine. Perfect. We have stabilized engines over there, so let's start up our next engine. So I will flick the start switch, and then we'll hop outside to see the engine start up, and then we'll come back into the cockpit, introduce the fuel, and just listen to that external start.
Finnair 56 Mike Heavy, ramp Golf 9 request pushback and engine start.
Finnair 56 Mike Heavy, Hamad ground, pushback approved. Face south.
Pushback approved, face south, Finnair 56.
Alright captains, that's a good engine startup, so we can just confirm on GSX that we have a good engine start.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Then before we taxi, we can just have a look. So our anti-ice is in the auto position, so we are good on that. Recall, we don't have any errors, so let's just hit the recall button. Let's do this, and then you can hit the recall button. There we go, we have no errors on the aircraft. The APU can be turned to the off position now because our engines have started up. Perfect. There we go. Auto brakes can be set to RTO. Flight controls, they should be all good. Right, pull up and pull down. So our flight controls are good. Ground equipment is being removed as we speak.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Alright, everything is clear, and then we can hit ground and then normal. And then for the flaps today, we have a flaps 5 departure.
Finnair 56 Mike Heavy, ready to taxi to the active.
Finnair 56 Mike Heavy, taxi to holding point Alpha, runway 34 right, via Charlie Alpha.
Taxi to holding point Alpha, runway 34 right, via Charlie Alpha, Finnair 56 Mike Heavy.
So captains, we got our signature wave indicating that everything is clear and we are good to taxi. We just have to set our flaps now, and then we will be requesting taxi to the active. So we have a flaps 5 departure, and we will be selecting flaps 5 and heading outside to watch the flaps extend. Right, we can then select flaps 5 captains and just watch the flaps extend.
Qatari 944 Heavy, gate 124 request pushback. Qatari 944 Heavy, Hamad ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face east.
Alright captains, we will then request the co-pilot to request for taxi. So co-pilot request taxi to active.
Qatari 107 Heavy, request taxi to the active.
And then we can just turn on our runway
Qatari 107 Heavy,
and
taxi to holding point Alpha, runway 34 right, via November, Sierra Charlie, Alpha.
Taxi to holding point Alpha, runway 34 right, via November, Sierra, Charlie, Alpha, Qatari 107 Heavy.
Right, let's release our parking brakes and introduce some fuel.
Qatari 97 Romeo Heavy, gate Charlie 3 request pushback.
Qatari 97 Romeo Heavy, Hamad ground, pushback and engine start approved, face southeast.
Pushback and engine start approved, face southeast, Qatari 97 Romeo Heavy.
Right, captains, we are just lining up to the holding point over here.
Qatari 97 Romeo Heavy, Hamad Tower, wind 360 degrees, 17 knots, runway 34 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 34 right, cleared for takeoff, Qatari 97 Romeo Heavy.
Perfect, turn in, and we will hold right here. Perfect. Let's turn up our parking brakes and then just set up our systems. So we will then turn on the strobe light. There we go, and our landing lights can come on. Runway taxis on, wing, there we go. Copilot, continue to request departure.
Qatari 107 Heavy, ready for departure. Runway 34 right.
Qatari 107 Heavy, hold short of runway 34 right, departing traffic.
Hold short of runway 34 right. Qatari 107 Heavy.
Qatari 107 Heavy, runway 34 right, line up and wait.
Runway 34 right, line up and wait. Qatari 107 Heavy.
Alright, let's line up and wait.
Qatari 97 Romeo Heavy, contact Doha departure 124.775.
Contact Doha departure 124.775, Qatari 97 Romeo Heavy.
Qatari 107 Heavy, Hamad Tower, wind 360 degrees, 17 knots, fly heading 360, runway 34 right, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 360, runway 34 right, cleared for takeoff. Qatari 107 Heavy.
Alright, we've been given a heading 360. Let's just get our lineup there. Perfect lineup, and we can hold right here. Pull up our parking brake for now. The QNH was 1004, and then we're told fly heading 360, and then we will just select heading select. Alright, instead of the LNAV. Perfect. And then let's set up the remainder of our system. So TARA can then be selected, weather and terrain can be selected, and then the weather can come on my side, terrain on the co-pilot side. Perfect. Everything else is good. All our lights are good. Runway taxis on, strobe is on, landing lights on, packs are running, everything is fine. Flaps green, we have flaps 5, and right, we are good to go. Right, captains, on that note, let's make our way out of here. So we will release our brakes and then bring up the engines to around 50%. Perfect. Toga, nose down pressure.
Airspace alive.
Close
Qatari
neutral.
928 Heavy, ready for departure, runway 34 right.
Qatari 928 Heavy, hold short of runway 34 right, departing traffic.
Holding short of runway 34 right, Qatari 928 Heavy.
Qatari 928 Heavy, runway 34 right, line up and wait.
Runway 34 right, line up and wait, Qatari 928 Heavy.
Rotate. There we go. Perfect.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up.
Qatari 107 Heavy, contact over departure 124.775.
Contact over departure 124.775. Qatari 107 Heavy. Doha departure, Qatari 107 Heavy. Good morning, 700 feet.
Alright, captains, that was our departure. So we're just going to make our climb to 17,000 feet and resume our way out of here. So let's just, okay, and then we will be doing this. And we'll make our turn.
Qatari 97 Romeo Heavy, contact over.
Captains, because we have been given 17,000 by ATC, we will just override that altitude constraint and then we will continue to make our climb. There we go, engines are spooling up, climb rate is increasing. Then we just watch out for 10,000. These must be the massive oil fields that we still have in the desert. Very nice. (1,000 feet to go). And there's the airport. About 10,000 landing lights can come off. There we go.
Due to departure, Qatari 50 Papa, 1,100 feet.
Qatari 50 Papa, Doha departure identified, climb to 14,000 feet.
Climb to 14,000 feet, Qatari 50 Papa.
Aircraft is just speeding up over here because we are above 10,000, so we can do more than 250 knots. So we are speeding up to 320, and then the climb should continue strong thereafter. There we go, nice and strong climb rate. As you can see, it has increased by quite a bit. Right, we are past our transition altitude, so we can set the QNH to standard. And as we do our climb, seatbelts can come off.
Contact Doha radar 126.7, Qatari 107 heavy. Doha radar Qatari 107 heavy, 314,500 feet for flight level 170 directive IXA.
Qatari 107 heavy, Doha radar contact, climb to flight level 340.
Climb to flight level 340, Qatari 107 heavy.
Qatari 15 Hotel heavy, contact UAE radar 124.85, have a good morning.
Center on 124.85, Qatari 15 Hotel heavy, good day.
Right, captains, we have been cleared to 34,000 feet, so at this point I'm going to be stepping away from the controls and let the autopilot do most of the flying, and I will be back in the captain's seat when we are around 10 minutes away from the top of descent. But until then, captains, enjoy the climb and then also enjoy the cruise, and we will meet as soon as we are able to make our way down. Alright, captains, and I am back in the seat. It's been a very long 7 hours and almost 30 minutes. It's been a very long flight. We are about, let's see, 15 minutes away. No, not 15, but 7 and... yeah, 9 minutes, sorry, 9 minutes away from the top of descent. So we can just be alert, just to listen out for the possible runway that we can expect, as well as the descent or the star that we are supposed to be following. So
Qatari 107 Heavy, Amsterdam radar, amendment to your route advice, ready to copy.
Wilco, ready to copy. Qatari 107 Heavy.
Alright, that's ATC coming in.
Expect Logan 2 Hotel, runway 27 right.
Okay, let's accept the clearance.
Expect Logan 2 Hotel, runway 27 right. Qatari 107 Heavy.
So, arrival.
Eurowings 1 X-ray Alpha, contact London Control 118.475,
Logan 2 Hotel.
bye-bye.
And then ILS 27 right. Perfect, let's accept that. And then let's execute, and then we will get our via as soon as we are close enough. So we can just flip through our legs page quickly, go to the plan, and then step through it just to get an understanding of what our descent is going to look like.
Alpine 86 Mike Charlie, contact Brussels
and
Control
what our approach or arrival procedure is going to look like. And then we have Lamb as the last waypoint. Let me just have a look at something. There's Lamb, so we can just select Lamb and hit execute.
KLM 1539, contact Brussels Control 125.0.
Contact Brussels Control 125.0, KLM 1539.
Right, Captain, so this is going to be our arrival, standard terminal arrival. There we go, make a swing in, and okay, pretty straightforward.
Flight level 339.
Let's continue monitoring our flight, VNAV page,
Amsterdam radar contact.
and then what we can do,
Qatari 107 Heavy,
go
Logan
to
2
our
Hotel,
fix,
runway 27
our
right.
legs,
Report ready for descent.
runway 27 right, fix, insert that there, perfect. And then we will start with the 150 nautical miles, 25,
Qatari 107
50.
Heavy, Logan 2 Hotel, runway 27 right. Report ready for descent.
Alright, co-pilot, call in ready for descent.
Logan 2 Hotel, runway 27 right, ready for descent. Qatari 107
Okay,
Heavy.
10.
Qatari 107 Heavy, descent to flight level 250.
Descent to flight level 250. Qatari 107 Heavy.
We are descending. We've been given 250, so we will set 20,000 for now, because beyond ATC tends to be a little bit slow. And then we can turn on our seatbelt signs as well, and then we begin our descent.
Descending the approach for flight level 345.
Lot 6 Juliet Kilo Heavy, Amsterdam radar contact. Ryanair 43 Uniform Golf, contact London Control 118.475. Have a good afternoon.
Contact London Control 118.475, Ryanair 43 Uniform Golf. Good day.
And let's have a look at our charts, arrival. And then just wait for it to load. There we go. So for the arrival airport, we want to look at the standard terminal arrival, and we are looking for Logan 2 hotel. Should be here. Logan 2. Go through this slow. There we go. Here's the Logan 2, and then for the approach we are doing the ILS, and it's for 27 right. Perfect. Then we can go to our pin charts, have a look at our star. Right, and that's how it looks. And then our approach. For the approach, let's read our chart. So the localizer frequency 110.3. So let's just check our systems here. Navred 110.3, and then our track 268. Perfect. Let's just bring our chart here. There we go. There we go. We got 268, and then the arrival altitude is 2,500. So I'm going to set 2,500 for us. As we are descending via the star, so it should help govern the descent very nicely in accordance to the constraints that have been set along the star.
November Lima, contact London Control 118.475.
Then we got that, and then our minimums we are looking at 278. So we can set our minimums of 278. Okay, and then 278. Perfect. And then for our approach, we're going to do a full flaps landing, which is 30 degrees of flaps. There we go. 141.
Center on 118.75, Southwest 322 heavy, good day.
Okay, let's have a look at our landing runway. 27 right. Okay. And we've got about, just zoom in there, 3,901 meters, so it's around 3.9 kilometers worth of runway. So we've got ample space to have a nice smooth butter landing and try and just drag out the flare just a little bit, so that we can just get a butter landing there. Okay, so I am happy with that. Let's try and perform our landing calculations. So we have 27 right, full flaps landing, of course, import the weather. There we go. Anti-ice will be on auto, right? AC will be on, and you can calculate. So there we go, 3.5. So 3.5 kilometers worth of landing runway. Then landing route, import the weights from the aircraft, and let's hit calculate. Auto brakes 3 at the current weight is going to leave us halfway on the runway. Let's have a look at auto brakes 4, and we will be using a quarter, so we're fine with auto brakes 3, so that our braking is not too harsh. So we can set auto brakes 3. There we go, we've got auto brakes 3. And then we are catching up on the profile as well as we are making our way down there. Very, very nice weather in front of us. As you can see, it's pretty cloudy. So yeah. Right, we are 150 nautical miles away from Heathrow. So what I want to do is I want to try and tune into the ATIS frequency. There might be a bit of a conflict over what is being read, but we'll try our best to listen out, because I can see that I can't split the frequencies like I can in the 737. But I'll just do my own research on that. Maybe I just need to find something out. but nice detail over here. So this is the high level detail update. Very nice that you can see the flap settings here. So for Heathrow we do have the arrival ATIS on 121935. Can set 121 and then 935. And let's try and listen.
6 degrees, departure 4 degrees, QNH 1010, landing runway 27 right, departing runway 27 left, transition level 060, numerous cranes in operation around Heathrow, advise on initial contact, you have information Kilo. Heathrow Airport information Kilo, 12060, surface wind 280 degrees, 12 knots, visibility 10 kilometers or more. Scattered 4,800 feet, temperature 16 degrees, departure 4 degrees, QNH.
Qatari 107 Heavy, contact London Control 118.475.
Center on 118.475, Qatari 107 Heavy.
Alpine 86 Mike Charlie, London Control, radar contact. Ryanair 967 Kilo, bags are full and runway 28 left. Report ready for descent.
Bags of falling, runway 28 left, ready
right,
for
we've got information Kilo, temperatures of 16 degrees, and then we've got some cloud cover as well.
Descent to 10,000 feet, Ryanair 967 Kilo.
Ryanair 967 Kilo, contact London Control 118.775.
As you can see, we've got the constraint coming in there, which is keeping us at 25,000 feet for now. And we are still below the profile, so we are still good.
Contact Gatwick approach 129.025, Hazel 107 Heavy.
London Control, Qatari 107 Heavy, descending via Logan 2 Hotel, flight level 250.
Qatari 107 Heavy, London Control identified. Qatari 107 Heavy, cross Logan at flight level 250, then descend to flight level 160.
Cross Logan at flight level 250, then descend to flight level 160, Qatari 107 Heavy.
Suntec 1187, contact London Control 118.775.
Center 118.775, Suntec 1187, good day.
Sector Alpha Golf, contact Farnborough approach 134.355.
Contact Farnborough approach 134.355, Sector Alpha Golf.
Right, cloud cover is very thick here. Almost got a whiteout, can't see anything. But we should be moving below this. Very nice, I love these conditions.
Eurowings 1 Lima, contact London Control 118.775.
Center 118.775, Eurowings 1 Lima.
London Control, Jordanian 113, descending via Abbott 1 Zulu, flight level 247.
Jordanian 113, London Control, radar contact. ISA 19 Alpha, contact London Control 118.775.
Center 118.775, ISA 19 Alpha.
London Control, Easy 6428, descending via Annan 1 Golf, flight level 258.
Easy 6428, London Control, identified. Brilliant 670, contact Paris Control 119.825, have a good day.
Center 119.825, Brilliant 670, good day.
Suntec 16 X-ray Zulu, contact process control 125.0.
Center 125.0, Suntec 16 X-ray Zulu, bye-bye.
Good day, London Control, Synergy 2 Delta Echo, descending via Island 1 Golf, flight level 260.
Qatari 107 Heavy, cross Sabre, flight level 160, then descend to flight level 070.
Cross Sabre at flight level 160, then descend to flight level 070. Qatari 107 Heavy.
Synergy 2 Delta Echo, London Control, radar contact. Tomjet 7 November Lima, London Control, expect exits 1 kilo, runway 25.
Expect exits 1 kilo, runway 25, Tomjet 7 November Lima.
Alright, we've broken below the weather cover there, very nice. Still good on our descent. Seem to be slightly faster, so we can pull some speed brake.
Contact sensitive approach 136.2, Ryanair 40 Tango Tango.
That should be enough, and then we will just watch out for our 10,000 foot marker.
Radar contact, continue climb to flight level 310.
Continue climb to flight level 310, Easy 9 X-Ray Lima.
Let's just have a look at our tablet.
Chatnex 6 Yankee Romeo, radar vectors, ILS runway 32. Report ready for descent.
Right, we are over the United Kingdom now. There we go, very nice approach.
Chatnex 6 Yankee Romeo, Leeds Bradford, landing runway 32.
Leeds Bradford, landing runway 32, Chatnex 6 Yankee Romeo.
Very nice.
Eurowings 1 X-ray Alpha, London Control, expect bags to follow my runway 28 left.
Expect bags to follow Lima, runway 28 left, Eurowings 1 X-ray Alpha. London Control, Alpine 46 Delta Charlie, flight level 319er.
We just have to watch out for 10,000, and then we're going to turn on our landing lights.
London Control, IC73 Papa, flight level 360. IC73 Papa, London Control identified.
And listening on the
Alpine
empties.
46 Delta Charlie, exits 1 kilo, runway 25. No. Report ready for descent.
Exits 1 kilo, runway 25, ready for descent. Alpine 46 Delta Charlie.
Alpine 46 Delta Charlie, descent to 9,000 feet, QNH 1003.
Descend to 9,000 feet, Alpine 46 Delta Charlie.
Jordanian 115, London Control, expect settle 1 mic, runway
Radio
23
is
right.
pretty busy. I need to catch the QNH.
Jordanian 115.
But our transition
Fraction
altitude
561 Bravo, contact begin approach 129.405.
is 6,000 feet.
Contact begin approach 129.405, fraction 561 Bravo.
Shan 814 Romeo Tango, contact sunset approach 136.2.
Contact sensitive approach 136.2, Chatnex 14 Romeo Tango.
Ryanair 657 Whiskey, contact Paris Control 119.825.
1010. Center on 119.825.
I think the QNH is 1010, but we will be corrected on that, and then QNH 1010. We'll just listen out and then fix it accordingly. But we're still good on our descent. United Kingdom looks good from above here.
London Control, Chatnex 86, prepare Foxtrot, descending via Silver 1 Bravo, flight level 247.
Easy 43 Uniform Golf, contact Gatwick approach 129.025.
Contact Gatwick approach 129.025, Easy 43 Uniform Golf.
Wesco 3 Zulu Echo, contact Luton approach 132.05.
Right.
Contact Luton approach 132.05, Wesco 3
Aircraft
Zulu
needs
Echo.
to slow down, so let's pull up our speed brake.
428, contact Gatwick approach 129.025.
Contact Gatwick approach 129.025, enter Air 428.
Qatari 107 Heavy, contact Heathrow Director 119.73.
Contact Heathrow Director 119.73, Qatari 107 Heavy. Ground Director, Qatari 107 Heavy, flight level 118 with the numbers.
Qatari 107 Heavy, Heathrow Director, QNH 1010, expect the ILS runway 27 right with the Lamborn transition.
QNH 1010, expect the ILS runway 27 right with the Lamborn transition. Qatari 107 Heavy.
1010 Lamborn transition, we are all good. We've caught up on the speed. We stop the speed brake.
Qatari 107 Heavy, clear direct Lamborn, cross Lamborn at or above 7,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 27 right.
Cleared direct Lamborn, cross Lamborn at or above 7,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 27 right. Qatari 107
and then we'll just
Heavy.
sort out our flaps and speeds as we go. So for the first part, we want to be doing around flaps up speed here, and then we're going to be doing 180 when we are 15 nautical miles out and so forth. So for now, let's just watch out for 10,000 feet, and then we've got the active weather in front of us, as you can see, and we have quite a bit of traffic here. We've turned up beyond ATC traffic to max, so I don't know how that's going to interact with the systems, but anyway, that's fine. Our lights are on, we are below 10,000. FMC drag is required, so we can just engage our speed brake. Right, and then we can do the manual speed and then reduce 2 flaps up. Perfect. You want to do the flaps up speed because then it will help us with the drag that's required. So at flaps up, we will engage flaps 1, and then we can also then put back our speed brake. There we go. Okay, so we are good on the speed. Everything looks good so far. The cabin is ready for the landing. Let's just have a look. Cabin is not secured for landing. Cabin crew are securing. Okay, perfect. We're almost there. Almost gonna put this big bird down. Jeez, it's been a long flight, but I've thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. But yeah, I've missed this aircraft.
All aircraft be advised, information number now current, QNH 1010.
QNH is correct. We're heading to Lam now.
Heathrow Director, Speedbird 767 Victor, flight level 140 with information number. Speedbird 767 Victor, Heathrow Director, QNH 1010, expect the ILS runway 27 right with the Ockham transition. QNH 1010, expect the ILS runway 27 right with the Ockham transition. Speedbird 767 Victor.
Okay, we can reduce the speed to 200, which is flaps 1, so that you can just get some more flaps going. Right. Flaps 5 selected. And there's London to our left hand side. Can't see it through this cloud cover, but there we go. Very nice. There's the famous bridge with the Big Ben. Very nice. It's London down there. We've seen a lot of James Bond movies have cutscenes that lead to this place. So that's pretty nice. Right. Right, we can reduce our speed to 180. Then when we are 10 nautical miles out, we will reduce the speed to 160. And we should be then deploying our gear and selecting flaps 15. So selecting flaps 15 now is just going to lead to us having that beeping, letting us know that we need to drop the gear as well.
QNH1010, expect the ILS runway 27 right with the Ockham transition.
QNH1010, expect the ILS runway 27 right with the Ockham transition, KLM009.
Beautiful scenery. Very nice Saturn. And we're still doing good on our approach. Then we are still good on our profile. Okay, making our turn again. And then what we can do at this point, just so that we prepare ourselves nicely, let's just select 175 for the speed. Flaps 15. And as we make this turn, we can drop our gear as well.
KLM009, cleared direct Ockham, cross Ockham at or above flight level 070, cleared ILS runway 27 right.
Clear direct Ockham cross, Ockham at or above flight level 070, cleared ILS runway 27 right, KLM009.
Beautiful view of London in front of us. More flaps. Just to monitor our speeds correctly, because we will be doing 160 soon. So we need our flaps 20 deployed. So we can do 170. Beautiful, beautiful flight over London. There's London, everybody. Very nice. And there's the river. Oh, very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. We're making our turn.
Air Portugal 5, 2 Tango Papa, good day, flight level 132, we have Lima.
Then hit up the brakes. And then let's hit the
Portugal
approach.
5, 2 Tango Papa, Heathrow Director, good day, QNH 1010, expect the ILS runway 27 right with the Ockham transition.
QNH 1010, expect the ILS runway 27 right with the Ockham transition, Air Portugal 5 to Tango Papa.
Drop gear. I just have to remap my gear button, but we can do 160 now, and then this notification should come out. There we go, gear's almost down. There we go, perfect. So 160 is good, we are full flaps out. Can arm our speed brake. Localizer has been captured, and then we are below the glide. There we go, and there's the airport right in front of us, people. So now we just watch out for being 5 nautical miles from the runway, and then we proceed to select our approach speed. So we are good for now.
Qatari 107 Heavy, contact Heathrow Tower 118.505, have a good day.
Contact Tower 118.505, Qatari 107 Heavy, have a good day.
Alright, we are on
Tower,
the glide.
Qatari 107 Heavy, ILS runway 27 right.
Approach speed, inlet page 141.
degrees, 12 knots, runway 27 right, clear to land.
Runway 27 right, clear to land. Qatari 107 Heavy.
Perfect, and we have been cleared to land, and that's the runway in front of us. We've officially struck 8 hours on this flight. Then we can just turn on the taxi lights as well. Perfect. Let's cross our fingers. Hopefully this landing will go well. I've got a lot of software recording in the background, and it's going to be my first time trying the Sky Dolly because I just want to try and have a replay of the landing that we will just do right now. So yeah, let's just make our landing and see how it goes. What 2,000 foot call. The pilot can come up. Oh, aircraft's under my control. Slightly high on the glide. Let's go down a bit. Center up nicely. Okay. Watch out for the natural dip. Let's straighten out. Center up, center up.
Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums.
Continue. We are on center.
100. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
It out. There we go. Smooth touchdown. Reversers can come on. We are below 80 knots. In all our flaps. Use the next runway exit.
Qatari 107 Heavy. Exit next available taxiway.
Exit next available taxiway. Qatari 107 Heavy.
Next available taxiway coming up. Let's slow down. Perfect, and let's make our turn in. Lovely stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety.
Slow down the aircraft. There we go.
We ask that you remain seated until
Control Tower, KLM009IL, runway 27 right.
Qatari 107 Heavy. Contact ground 121.905.
Then let's
Ground
just hold here.
905. Qatari 107 Heavy. Have a good day.
Auto brakes can come off. APU can come on. The strobe lights can come off. Landing lights can come off. And we'll just leave our taxi lights. Perfect. And then let's just request taxi to assigned gate.
Qatari 107 Heavy. Request taxi to allocated gate.
Let's activate our gate.
Qatari 107 Heavy, taxi via link 60 Bravo, Foxtrot, Alpha, Romeo, hold short of runway 27 left.
Taxi via link 60 Bravo, Foxtrot, Alpha, Romeo, hold short of runway 27 left. Qatari 107 Heavy.
Cabin crew, doors to manual and cross-check.
Right. Let us taxi to our designated spot. So we're parking all the way at the back over there. As you can see with the blue marker. But our weather systems can come off, terrain can come off, and select TA. Okay, we just didn't complete the checklist, but we're all good. Turn in, slow down the aircraft. Down, there we go. Let's get ourselves aligned accordingly. There you go. Here we go. Pull up our parking brake. Perfect. And the APU is running and ready, so perfect. So we can cut off our engines. Alright, captains, and that's our arrival into London Heathrow. All good, all perfect. Alright, let's just check our systems. Go to our tablet, call for the ground operations, and then call for the chokes to be set, and then request ground power. Right, we do have ground power connected to the aircraft, so we can select that. Perfect. And with the ground power selected, we can turn off our beacon lights, and then we can turn off the passenger seatbelt signs. Where's this thing? There we go. Here's the seatbelt signs, and then we can just turn in and call upon GSX and request the boarding.
The boarding requested.
Alright, awesome stuff, captains, and that's our arrival. So while the deboarding is happening, let's just call up our a Pilot's Life Chapter 2 scoring and just have a look at how we did on this flight. So we got 97. Let's just have a look at the stats. Okay, there we go. Alright, no, understood with that. So in terms of our flight, the only item that we failed was the landing gear retraction. So we took a bit of time to retract our landing gear, and that's because I thought I had pressed it with my usual key binding, but it seems to be set differently for this aircraft, so I just need to fix that. But other than that, in terms of our landing, which is most important for me, we managed to get 135 feet per minute at 1.15 Gs. This is pretty smooth, especially for such a heavy aircraft. So you can have a look at the landing details and just blow this up. In terms of the landing, we were on center, started to drift slightly towards the left, and we touched down outside of our touchdown markers over there. But anyways, we did have enough runway to eventually slow down and taxi right to our parking point, which is over there. And then again, the landing rate 135 feet per minute at 1.15 Gs. This is pretty good, especially after not flying the aircraft for such a long time. And that's what our approach into London also looked like. Very nice. I'm happy with that. I enjoyed that. In terms of the SLC, I know the passengers aren't too chuffed with us because we are pretty late on arrival, but we should be scoring well on other items. So if we have a look at the G's, they gave me a bad rating.
Delta Alpha Echo Link 36 Foxtrot Bravo Speedbird 767 Victor.
Okay, that's fine. It's just because we arrived late and our passengers scored us bad. Oh well. And the in-flight entertainment wasn't so good as well.
Enjoy your afternoon. Bye.
Okay. Alright, it's mainly because of the passenger sentiments and not necessarily my flying. But anyway, that wraps it up pretty nicely, captains. It was an awesome flight. We can't stop the clocks. Like I did say, I thoroughly enjoyed this flight, and I hope that you enjoyed being on this flight with me. If it's your first time on the channel, and those who are returning viewers as well, please do like this video if it impress you, if it did really impress you and you did enjoy it. And then please do also subscribe to the channel and do hit the notification bell so that you can get the notifications every time I upload videos. And at this point, I just wanted to say thank you for all the viewers who do take their time to leave some comments. I really do enjoy engaging with you and getting some of your tips around flying this aircraft, as well as getting your sentiments and ratings on my landings as well. So it is pretty nice to interact with you all. I'm just going to turn off the radios. And on that note, captains, that then brings us to the end of today's flight. Like I did say, I enjoyed it. It was very nice flying this aircraft after such a long time, and we didn't do too badly on this very long haul flight of around 8 hours. So I'm pretty happy with that. And captains, just once again, thank you, and we will be meeting on our next flight. It might be a domestic flight for FlySFA as we return back to our career series. But until then, let's just continue to positively share this love we have for aviation through the various platforms that we do engage in outside of the sim. And until then, please keep cool, stay calm, and we'll see each other in the skies on the next video. Goodbye.